Q is the life load on the slab. That's how you can see it to be 8 kilonewton per meter square. And G is the dead load on the slab, and that is also 4 kilonewton per meter square. FCU is the concrete strength, the characteristics concrete strength, which for this case is 50 newton per mm square. And the FY is the tensile strength of the steel we are using, which is a high yield steel, and it is 460 newton per mm square. And our exposure condition here is severe, 2 hours of fire resistance, and we are doing beam B. So let's start. So I've drawn it here. There's no need for me to draw it again on this new sheet. But the first thing you're going to do is to now get your thickness of slab, and there's a way to do that, which is the span depth ratio. So for this case, I asked the man because we have a normal simply supported with an overhang. So this overhang simply means cantilever on its own, and this simply supported is a simply supported beam, or slab. Yes, a simply supported slab. Sorry. So here our span to depth ratio of the simply supported panel 1, we call this 1 and we call this 2. Let's just name this like this. So span over depth is equal to 20 is the coefficient for simply supported spanning either slab or beam, and 1 is a constant, should be a constant. So when we get further or when we get higher, we would be solving for other kind of beams or slabs that have other values, but for now it is 1. Then so our span to depth ratio is 20 times 1. So just because we are looking for the depth and we have our span to be 9 meters, so we just make D, which is our depth, the subject of the formula. That's how you get your effective depth. But then, since we have an overhang and a simply supported, we are asked to take the average of the two, and that's what we literally did there. And for the simply supported, for the overhang, which is the cantilever, our coefficient is 7. So we do the same thing and we get the value also, and we take the average of the two to be this. So what the reason why we approximate this is that we don't want our values to have point something, because it won't be easy for construction on site. So you just round it up, because you can't round it down, you round it up so to the nearest tens or 5. Like you can add, you can round this up to like 420, or if it is 421 point something, you just round it up to 425. So that's for that. So now, since we've gotten our depth, our average depth for the two conditions, the simply supported and the overhang, we've gotten it to be 420 mm. We are now going to go to H. Our H is the total depth. Since this is the effective depth, our H is the total depth. I don't know if you understand that, but let me quickly draw a sketch. If this is a beam, our effective depth start from the center of the steel, of the tension steel. So that is where our own 420 mm lies, and this H is the total depth, which we are going to calculate now by getting the concrete cover from this point down. So that's where we are trying to solve for H. So now the conditions we are going to take, or the things you are going to take into consideration, are the fire resistance of the concrete, the the exposure condition, which is severe for this, and we will take and we will first assume our steel diameter here. And as I from experience, we can't take anything less than 6 mm for this particular kind of slab, because it's an heavy slab, very heavy from the thickness alone. So you can't use the usual 12 mm. We are going to take 16 mm. And the nominal cover, let's first solve for this. So our fire resistance, we'll go to page 79 of our book. We are going to trace it down from here. This is for the exposure condition. So here we have our exposure condition to be severe, and at a of a concrete strength of what, 25 of 50, yes, 50. So we now trace it down. This is severe, and so we have 25 here for severe, because our concrete strength is C 50 Newton per mm square per millimeter square. So we take that's why you wrote 25 here. But for fire resistance, this one, there's a condition attached to it, which is that this is for beams, and this is for floors, which is a slab. And as we are told to solve for in the textbook or in the question, is that we are going to look for a fire resistance of 2 hours. Then these 2 hours on floor is for simply supported is 35. That's the nominal cover we are meant to take. But since, as I explained earlier, that this is a combination of cantilever, is like a continuous stuff from here. It's like a continuous slab from here. But since it's not totally continuous, we can assume it to be continuous, but it is definitely not a simply supported slab. So we are going to take the average. We are also going to take the average of a simply supported and a continuous here. So our simply supported condition here is 35. Our nominal cover is meant to be 35, and our nominal cover for continuous is going to be 25. Now we are going to take the average of the two, and that's how we solved it to be 30 mm. And as you can see, this is the highest or largest cover yet. So we are going to take this as our cover, putting in mind that our steel has a diameter of 16 mm, and the diameter of 16 and from this place that I explained earlier, we are going to consider it from the center of it. So the cover starts counting from the center of this steel down to the edge here, which is 30 from here. So we are going to add our effective depth, 420 plus 8, half of this 16, plus the nominal cover, which is 30. We are going to get 458, but we can't take 458 because it won't be convenient to construct. That's how we get it to be 460 mm. So that's that for now. I'll continue on this later.